Hi. In the last session, I asked you to look at the files on the story prompts, things that could help you figure out what you want to write about. Because frankly, no one likes looking at a blank page. Not me, not you, not anyone. But if you have prompts and ideas, you'll never worry or think about what to write because you have more than 100 ideas to choose from. Let's look at a few of them now. And at the end of today's session, or the end of this session, I'd like you to pick one of them and write 250 words about that topic. Now, I know you are not a professional writer like I am, and writing may not be easy for you, but 250 words is easy. If you look at some emails that you write, they're about 250 words, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Now, there are many books about how to write stories and how to write Hollywood screenplays. That's not what we're doing here. We're simply expressing what's in our minds to get our thoughts and feelings down on paper, or if you prefer, recorded like this. Whatever you prefer is perfectly fine. In fact, if you're a little camera shy, you can speak into an iPhone or any other kind of recorder. That's perfectly fine. It will simply help you accomplish the same goal. This course is Write Your Way to Remission or Write Your Way to Recovery. And I think as long as you are expressing yourself verbally or with your fingers through writing and typing, the results are going to be great for you regardless. So I hope that lowers the barrier for you there. Now, what's the best way to tell your story? If you're trying to think about Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark, you're thinking in the wrong place. Yes, those are great stories, but that's not your story. Your story is not this 3D adventure. Frankly, that's a pretty high bar to look for. I couldn't do it, and I'm a professional writer. I was a newspaper reporter for many years. I've written more than a dozen books. I find it hard to write those kinds of things as well. It's a special skill. People go to college to learn those skills, and they spend years in apprenticeships honing those skills. So what makes for a good writing for you? Simply tell the story. Share your feelings. It may simply be a timeline, a chronology. I went for my blood test. I wasn't expecting anything special. I was feeling perfectly fine. I was really surprised when my doctor told me there were some irregularities in the blood work, and he wanted me to see all sorts of specialists. People are going to put me through MRI machines, inject me with plutonium or radioactive minerals, take samples of bone marrow from my spine, and I felt perfectly fine. I thought he was nuts. But as it turns out, he saved my life because he could tell through his years of experience that I had cancer. Even though I had no outward symptoms, he could see the signs in my blood work. If I hadn't gone for my annual physical, I probably wouldn't have known for another year. And by that time, I might have been dead. So I'm really grateful that my doctor twisted my arm, metaphorically speaking, and told me to go through all those tests because he saved my life. Simple story. Beginning, middle, and end. There's a time element to it, and it just talked about what happened. Let's look at some of the prompts in this handout that you have and see what makes sense for you. You don't have to do all these prompts. You could pick the ones that speak to you most. So again, I'm lowering the bar, I'm making this as easy as possible for you. Let's look at the first set. Before the diagnosis. What was your life like before you were diagnosed? Describe a normal day. How did you view health and illness before your diagnosis? What dreams or plans were you pursuing before your diagnosis? And there are others. Then let's go to diagnosis day. Describe the moment you were told you had cancer. Who? What were the first words you remember hearing after your diagnosis? How did you feel physically, emotional, spiritually in that moment? Pretty good stuff. Treatment journey. Describe your treatment plan and how you felt about it. What was your first treatment day like? Write about the physical changes you went through. What was the hardest part of treatment? Those are some really good ideas. What about your emotional and mental health? What emotions came up most often during your cancer journey? What coping mechanisms worked for you? Which didn't? Describe your relationship with fear. Yeah, that's being real vulnerable. But frankly, vulnerability is what's going to connect with your readers. And frankly, if this is self-discovery, it just might help you open up and deal with those issues as well. Let's look at the next set, relationships and communication. How did cancer affect your relationships? Who disappeared from your life during this time? Who surprised you with their support? I had friends fly in from New York and Pittsburgh, blew me away, just absolutely blew me away. On the other hand, people who I told and thought I'd get support from disappeared. I think I could write about those things. Could you? Daily life and practical realities. How did cancer affect your work or your career? What was it like managing your household responsibilities? What did cancer impact your finances? What practical advice would you give to newly diagnosed patients? Let's look at the next set, recovery and life after treatment. Did you experience survivor's guilt? Describe it. How has your body changed after treatment? How has your mind changed? What does normal look like now? What helped you feel whole again? Write about a celebration or a milestone that mattered to you. You see, these prompts aren't all negative. They all don't point to the worst days of your life. You can celebrate things too. Let's look at the next set, meaning, legacy, and lessons. What did cancer teach you about yourself? What does survivor mean to you? How has your worldview changed? Me? I'm much more hopeful, much more optimistic, and much more grateful. Cancer and going through this helped me along those ways. How would you define courage now? What gives your life meaning today? For me, it's helping you write your story because I know how it helped me, and I think it can help you. Creative writing and reflective writing. Write a letter to your cancer. That's interesting. It probably starts with F you. I'll let you figure that one out on your own. Let's look at the next section, future focused. What are your goals or dreams that you're pursuing now? How do you want to live the rest of your life? How does thriving, not just surviving, look to you? What scares you now, and how do you face it? I hope these ideas have given you ideas to write your story. There are 101 story ideas here, and if you keep on looking at the handout, there are another 101 ideas that don't involve cancer, that talk about your daily life and such like that your job, your career, your family, your history, other things that you might want to share as well. Any writing, any sharing is going to help you on your way to recovery. Your story needs to be told. I'm so glad you took the first step to share your wisdom and your legacy. These prompts will help you get started. And again, look at 250 words as your goal. You might find you're writing 500 words or 5,000 words. That's okay. It's like exercising. Walking to the end of the block may seem like a big deal, but once you get there, you may decide to walk another block, and then you walk home. It just takes a bit of push to get started. But once you get started, it might be hard to stop. So I encourage you to write until you've expressed yourself fully, because that will help you deal with all of these issues completely. I look forward to seeing you on the next session.